Good blessed morning to all human beings. I'd like to greet all of you with the universal greetings of peace and the blessings of God be upon you. No matter what your race or your creed or your color may be, no matter what your religious may be, and no matter what your physiological, your theological, or your personal philosophy may be. I greet all of you with the same greetings. Because in the beginning, according to my belief, and it's just my belief, other people believe the same thing. When God created man, he created the human being, the human race. But anyway, I just want to speak about the attacks on me and my two young daughters here in Charleston, Missouri, and the attacks on my 88-year-old World War II veteran dad who was born and raised here in Charleston, Missouri. So was my two young daughters. Today is Monday, July the 11th, 2016, the time being 7:57 a.m. Central Time or Charleston, Missouri time. I ask all of those who may be offended or don't like what I publish on YouTube, or don't like or offended of anything that I put on my Facebook page. If you're being forced to watch it, I encourage you to dial 911 or go to your immediate closest public safety or police department or law enforcement agency and report it. Because if they're forcing you to do it, it's not up under my directions or command. Because I'm like Jesus. I don't force nothing on nobody. Jesus gave me a will to do right or wrong. My will is to do right. You see, the Bible tells us to go by the law, and that's what I'm doing. I try to exercise my First and 14th Amendment right, which here in Charleston, Missouri, for some reason, it don't seem like I have that, me and my household. A right to freedom, freely express myself. A right to peacefully associate with who I want to. Peacefully protest against anything that I feel is wrong. You see, some of you may feel certain things is right, and I may feel it's wrong. But it's your opinion and mine. But when we dealing with facts, it's facts. It's a fact. If it's a stop sign there, that we supposed to stop for it, not just pause, bounce, and just pull on off, that's yielding. But I want to tell you about some of the attacks. The attacks started, everybody know. The attacks started a while ago when my young daughters was real little. The actual first attack started in 2000 when Robert Hearns, the chief of police now, and one of his white officers, Beth A-Cap, came to my house without a warrant or probable cause, forced me out, locked me up, eventually got me convicted. It's a long story, but y'all know what I'm trying to do now is have somebody to look at these reports, and it'll prove what they did was wrong, the jury trial and everything else. That's why today, I forgot to tell y'all, I'm meeting with some people that's not from the boot heel, white and black. Some people that's interested in what I'm talking about. That's in the civil rights, the law, and the investigative reporter field. You see, you can't get no local news media to hear and print what I say. But you got some other people Washington, D.C. is interested in it. But we talked about what Hearns and them did in 2000. Then we talked about another illegal. They always, most time, come at midnight. Like Hearns and them did about 2 o'clock in the morning, a.m. June the 25th of 2000. When they think everybody else is asleep. But then the other attack came when they came in my house. Sergeant Percy Owens, black, took my 2 little children, 1 and 2 years old at the time, out of my house at gunpoint and gave them to their drug addict mother. My daughters was harmed. They was traumatized. All these people that's criticizing me, they ain't had nothing to say about that. All these organizations, preachers, ain't none of them had nothing to say about that. But everybody know the story on that. I got documentations. The feds is watching all of them that I was talking about so far. Then, they didn't want to stop there. They let a bus driver. He was white, but it don't make no difference what color he is, but it makes a difference here in Charleston, Missouri. You see, they just had a survey saying that Charleston, Missouri is on the top 10 list of the most stressful cities in the state of Missouri. You had a female in the newspaper they printed here in the local newspaper said that she tired of people talking about her city. And she challenged anybody to come sit down with her where she can tell that this is not a stressful city. To her, it may not be. Talk to my daughters, my 2 young daughters, psychologist, who's white, who's been seeing them for the past 4 years for the stress that they done went through here in Charleston, Missouri. Talk to the people that I talk to and see if it's stressful. It may not be stressful on your end of town, but it's stressful here with me and a whole bunch of other people that's scared to speak up, but I'm not scared to speak up. But you see, they let this bus driver do something to my child, and the police refused to even question the bus driver, and he used a knife. Been giving my daughter's gift, been left on the bus alone with her. He let him get out of the town. Check him out, Joey Rice. That's Joey Rice. In Walnut Ridge, Arkansas High School, as an agriculture teacher now. But we go on. They start attacking me after that. Had to take my daughters out of that school. All the other surrounding schools going right along with them. Because a black man is trying to defend his children, who's black, Dominican, and Puerto Rican, against something what a white bus driver did to my child. Like I said, don't make no difference what color he is. But I still have a right. So they attacks after that. This was February of 2012. But you see what they started doing after that? Since I wouldn't put them back in their schools and let them brainwash them like they're doing a whole bunch of these other black children here in Charleston, Missouri. If the shoe fit, wear it. So January the 17th of 2013, somebody called anonymous. All this time I'm keeping my children now. They called anonymous saying that I'm funneling with my 2 daughters and dressing them in tight clothes. When I called the same hotline for the children's abuse and neglect line and told them what the school negligently left my daughter on the bus with this bus driver for 20 minutes or more, and what he did with her, pulling a knife out, cutting stuff off of her that was on her body, they told me, and I got document proof, they told me that my complaint didn't want them to send out investigators, but somebody called anonymous saying what I'm doing to my children in my house, and they don't even live there. And they brought the police, Charleston, Missouri police there. They tried to intimidate me, but they left out, not with my children. In 2008, they took my children at gunpoint. But now, they didn't stop there. The very next day, the same agency, but a different department came with the Charleston police again, saying that somebody called and said that the bus driver did something to my children. They wasn't concerned. I sent them on their way until they met with my children's psychologist and me together, because I don't trust these people in Charleston, Missouri. No authority. They didn't do nothing to the bus driver. They wasn't concerned about the police, didn't even make a police report. Wouldn't allow me to file one. They didn't stop there. They got the youths and blacks in the community like Lester Gillespie from the Suzanne Wesley Family Learning Center. Just last year, I'm videoing showing the injustices not only happening to me and my children, but what they're doing in the black community. But I'm speaking up not for the black community anymore. I'm speaking up for me and my children. Lester Gillespie go to a judge that he worked with and his lawyer that he had, that they went up against me on an expose. All of them worked for the same person, Suzanne Wesley. This expose was signed and approved by this judge that used to work for Suzanne Wesley at the same time Lester did, on October the 14th of 2015. I had him recuse himself. He shouldn't have never heard it, because he worked it for these same people. That was a conflict of interest. When I went up against Black Gold Farms for having KKK and calling people the N-word, blacks N-word there, when we went to the federal court in Cape Girardeau, Missouri, a federal judge by the name of Lombard got the case. He immediately recused himself on the strength that the Lombard law firm in Cape Girardeau, Missouri was representing the farm that I was suing, Black Gold Farms. He knew it to be a conflict of interest, just like he knew he a federal judge. He immediately recused himself. But this judge didn't recuse himself. Robert Barker didn't recuse himself. I had to ask him recuse himself. But then this same case had to go all the way to the Missouri State Supreme Court Chief Justice, Patricia Breckenridge, to assign a judge that wasn't from Mississippi County, the 33rd Circuit, to hear the case. Now, all judges supposed to go by the same law. We had a trial. I represented myself, but God was my representative. And Lester had his lawyer. He had some of these same people in this town backing him. People from the black funeral home, people from these churches. All of them coming up against me. But the judge heard that trial for over 2 hours. And he sent his ruling in the mail. He dismissed it. Now, if this judge dismissed it, how did this other judge even grant it? That was thrown out. But Lester Gillespie told him he was afraid of me. But look, he come back again. And everywhere that I'm surrounded, the judge threw it out on the 8th of December 2014. On the 16th of December, Lester approached me and my cameraman, Buck Whitney. Pull up by his house while me and Buck Whitney talking. Interrupting us, but he afraid of me. I called the police department, but I don't think they documented it. Now he got me going to court because I'm videoing him down the street from me telling children that I'm a rapist. Untrue. But then, here it is, a pastor, a so-called pastor, Floyd Wade, when I wouldn't want him to let him open the door for me at an establishment, he get mad and call me a menace to society and a racist. But then, some of his family members, not all, made a statement on Facebook saying that I know some people in Palmer would beat the brakes out of me. Some of his other members were saying that don't he know he'll be jumped on. Stay tuned. Peace. Be still.